Up until now, I've shown you all of my successes. But today I thought, well, because people have been asking, what happens when cheese fails and why does it fail? So let me step you through a few of my cheese failures. Neglected Stilton. Well, this Stilton was not turned and it had a lack of oxygen. So this is what happened. I left it in the back of the fridge. I was ill at the time, so I forgot to turn it. And this is what I did to rescue it. So I scraped all the blue off. That made a very nice blue cheese sauce. And this is what I ended up with, about 1/5 of the size I had. Unholy Emmental. So when you make a cheese that has holes or eye formation, don't vacuum pack it, because this is what happens. You don't get any eye formation. It needs to expand. It needs to be left at room temperature for the period of maturation. So these are mechanical holes. That's what happens. Bloaty Parmesan. So this Parmesan was made with milk of dubious quality, and it puffed up, it bloated up. So it might have had a bacterial infection as well. So to rescue it, we basically grated it with a fine grater and made some basil pesto out of it. A great way to recover. Cracked Drunken Cow. Well, this was a Drunken Cow cheese I made. I had marinated the cheese in red wine, and for some reason it cracked, and it cracked everywhere. I think I used too much rennet and I didn't cut the curds small enough. But it did taste delicious. Flattened Havarti. Well, this Havarti came out of the press okay, but it was a bit soft. I should have pressed it for at least another 6 hours. And during its maturation time, something funny happened. And what happened? It flattened, and it started to touch the sides of the maturation box. However, it did turn out to be quite a good cheese, but it needed further pressing. Broken Brie. Well, this was my first attempt at a Brie. Now, what happened was I didn't use enough milk, so I only used 4 litres of milk, and it was quite flat. And I found that when I was turning it, it kept moving all the time, and therefore it came and had a big crack. So when I came to look at it, yes, the Penicillium candidum had formed around the sides, but it had a massive crack in the middle, as you can see there, and it didn't form properly. However, it was very edible, and what we did to save it, I tasted it. It was very nice. It was quite a sharp little cheese, but the paste on the outside was great. So basically what I did from there, after I had a taste test and gave some to my lovely wife Kim, she said save it, so I basically wrapped it in aluminium foil and just stored that into the normal refrigerator, and we'll use that as a spread on toast. Not so Fourme d'Ambert. So this Fourme d'Ambert is a cheese that I'm currently working on, and it's been a while now, and it should have blue mold all over it, but guess what, it doesn't. And that's because, yes, I have been neglecting this one a little bit, and it needs more oxygen, and there was far too much moisture in the bottom of the maturation box. So this is what it looks like. It's got a lot more Penicillium candidum than it does Penicillium roqueforti, and it is blooming on the outside of the cheese. Now it's too moist, I figured, so what I'm going to do is put it into a different maturation box, which instead of having a plastic mat on the bottom is going to have sushi mat or a bamboo mat. So we're just going to pop that onto there, and we've got a lot more room now, and I've put it into a different maturation container, and I've allowed a little bit of air to get in, so I've cracked the lid so it's not completely sealed. Hopefully we'll get a bit of blue cheese formation. This cheese can mature for up to 3 months, so I'm only about a month into it, so it shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully we'll get a video out of this one. Overripe Camembert. This is my very first Camembert, and it looks fantastic and was going swimmingly. However, I didn't know that you had to wrap it when it got to about 2 weeks. So this is what it turned out like. It was quite wrinkly. However, when I cut into it, oh my goodness, look at all the goo. It was overripe, pungent, and smelt like ammonia. So make sure you keep your maturation to 4 weeks only. If you like this video, please support me on Patreon. Just click through and pledge your support for the videos that I make here on the cheese making channel. You can also check out a Bel Paese. It's a delicious cheese, and so is Monterey Jack. Nice and tart, but nice and easy and quick to make. Thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and see you next time.